Every single day there's a new controversy on YouTube. People get mad, the YouTuber apologizes, they get hated on for like a week, and then it's all forgotten. But there's this one guy who's been stuck in this constant cycle of hate for over 2 months now. That guy is Pirate Software. And what's crazy is he didn't get exposed for something horrific like being creepy with kids, filming a dead body, or, hurting someone. His downfall came from something much less harmful. Here's how Jason's arrogance, stubbornness, and self righteousness dug his own grave. Up until January 2025, Pirate Software has been seen as a well respected live streamer and YouTuber. On a platform like YouTube, where anybody, no matter how little they know, can just share their opinion, Jason was a professional. He worked as a game developer for Blizzard and was seen as an authority figure on the issues of video game production. The first time the internet changed its mind about him was, believe it or not, during a World of Warcraft game. Jason abandoned his teammates, leading to the permanent death of two of their level 60 characters, which is a big deal in the game, I'm not sure.
Pirate, why are you walking, bro?
What are you talking about? Why am I walking? Look at my mana.
This is savageable. Come
Innovate
on,
you?
man.
Just kill the mastiffs.
Innovate the
Use
healer.
Nova, bro.
Kill the
Come on.
mastiffs. We got
He
this.
heals.
In the sense of
War something?
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
just kill the mastiffs. One shot. Okay, we
More,
pulled
there's
another
more on the way,
pass
more on the
right
way.
now. Fuck!
Now, it's a video game. Sometimes people win, other times they lose. But what made people mad was a smug comment he made after dropping the ball.
When your shot color says run, it's time to run, you run. That is how that works. You were the shot color, you called for run, I ran.
I'm not a shot caller.
And I was out of mana.
Actually, I'm a noob, bro. I
You
think I
called
have
the
way
shot.
less experience than you have.
Oh dear God.
And I can still see that I can at least use a Frost Nova there. Or at
Okay,
least try
then go
something.
roll a
You were
mage
the
and do
first
it.
person that ran away and didn't even look back. Literally.
This is the
You didn't even
second
say
time.
anything.
This
You
is
could
the
have at
second.
least said like the boss.
You're just gonna talk over me? Is that what we're doing now?
Well,
We're just gonna talk over me? Is that all? Is that all
I'm
we're
just
doing?
giving you my points.
Okay. You done giving your point? You good?
Yes. I'm done.
Okay. Cool. You go roll a mage then.
Now, most people expected him to apologize, but instead of doing just that, he over-explained the entire situation and said it was everyone else's fault too.
Not my fault at all. Yeah, not at all.
The arrogance and dismissal he used in the supposed apology video rubbed everyone the wrong way. He talked about the hate he was getting for his actions way more than he apologized. Now, this situation could have gone away almost completely if he just put his big boy pants on and apologized, but that seemed to be morally corrupt to him. Here's what he had to say about it on Dr. K's stream.
It feels like that's too long, didn't read. I don't need all those words when few words do gooder. That I hate that shit. Like I super hate that kind of communication of like there's a lot of people that say like, oh, you should just say my bad, guys. No, that does not in any way explain a situation. That doesn't tell you any information that is real. It is hand waving for the masses in a way that is disingenuous to what happened and disingenuous to the people that are involved. I feel like to do that would be just me lying for the sake of lying so that people would fuck off. I really hate that.
The very first controversy highlights Pirate Software's biggest flaws: stubbornness and inability to admit when he's wrong. He thought it was absurd that he was getting so much hate over a video game, but he failed to see that it was his reaction to the controversy that kept fueling the hate. It all got worse from here. Though the first controversy was still relatively contained from the mainstream, the second one had some of the biggest creators on the platform criticizing Jason. On April 2nd, 2024, a petition called Stop Killing Games was dropped. This movement called out companies for shutting down online servers and making paid games completely unplayable. Now the internet, looking at Pirate Software as the voice of reason, expected him to support the initiative, but he came out completely against it.
Oh shit, now this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful. That is a horrible goddamn direction. That's awful, dude. No, eat my entire ass. The level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move. I think this is ass. This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then. I drop the mask entirely. I have no qualms about that. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing. That sounds stupid as shit.
The harsh criticism from one of the most prominent video game creators practically killed the initiative. But things were about to change. On August 6, 2024, the initiator of the petition, Ross, posted a video about the disappointing results of the petition.
If your only exposure to Stop Killing Games has been this video, then you've been misinformed. This video is by someone who does not understand the campaign, has been trying to stop it, and has been making up what it is about.
The video caught the eyes of giant YouTubers like moistCritical, Jacksepticeye, and even PewDiePie. Charlie specifically criticized Jason's uneducated take on the situation.
Now, he did just post a tweet where he said he talked to me and Josh Strife Hayes, and in that tweet, this will prove how useless our conversation was, unfortunately, there's not a single peep about misrepresenting what Stop Killing Games was about. It's more so about how the public just doesn't understand game development, and it kind of reads to me like we're all just too stupid to understand it from his side of things.
Jason, however, instead of acknowledging he was wrong, doubled down. He even publicly shared his DMs with Charlie that led to even more criticism of him online. Some people accused him of criticizing the petition to protect the interests of the video game companies he was associated with. These two controversies started a chain reaction that led to more and more people digging into his past and finding out that the so-called Thor of the internet wasn't even close to who they thought he was. Recently, the well-respected programming YouTuber Coding Jesus put a video reviewing Pirate Software's code. He found it to be completely horrible. In reaction, Jason presented some excuses, some valid reasons, and some blatantly false information, and also called Coding Jesus a grifter.
He pretends the chatter asked, "Why do you set the alarms to 0?" instead of the question, which was, "Why don't you iterate over them in a for loop?" A for loop is a very basic coding construct. If you're iterating through a consecutive set of numbers, you definitely want to use that. It's the perfect scenario for a for loop. But he pretends that he didn't understand the question, and then tries to answer something else.
Data types are not defined in GameMaker. You cannot define a Boolean. You can use 0, 1, or true, false at will. It doesn't do anything. None of this matters in this language.
He makes the claim that you can't define a Boolean in GameMaker because GameMaker itself doesn't have a native Boolean type in its scripting language. In other words, it interprets reals as Booleans. Now, to reconcile the fact that he used a Boolean in his code with what he said, I decided to do what any developer would do, and that is I consulted the documentation. So if you go to data types in GameMaker, oh, look at that. You are also provided with constants, true and false, which can always be used in your code to prevent any issues.
Okay, so I myself can code a little, guys, and to give you context, what Jason was doing here was adding 5 plus 5 plus 5 instead of just doing 5 into 5. It's actually crazy how bad he is. By this time, the internet already knew Pirate Software to be a huge jerk based on his other two controversies, but now even his skill as a game developer were being questioned. The fact that he tried to disrespect Coding Jesus just for criticizing him put his superiority complex on full display. At this point, the audience wasn't even mad at him. They were laughing at him. Jason probably thought that the worst was over, but he was about to be proved very wrong. On August 2nd, an interview from his ex-coworker and roommate was released, and it's safe to say she did not like him very much. According to her, he was a nepo baby, extremely disgusting, and had anger issues.
That easy. But he would just kind of create a character and idle in the client and read Reddit. That's literally what he did. He sat in front of me and I was assigning the tasks. So not only did I see the work he was not doing, I saw what he was doing instead the entire time. He requested a third display because he claimed he needed it for his bots when he started doing some automation testing. He just wanted it to have the extra space for Reddit, YouTube, mail. He just wanted the extra space.
Okay.
and I talked to one of the department heads. Like, I talked to the manager over the project. And I was essentially told that no one is going to do anything because of who he is. And this has nothing to do with Joey Ray. It does not look good on your future at Blizzard if you mess with an executive's son. Period. Everybody knows who Jason is. If you write him up, if you fire him for misconduct or otherwise, people are going to know you did it. They're not going to know that anything was actually going on. They're just going to know you were the guy that fired Joey Ray's son, and your career is pretty much toast. I was on his team for a league tournament, and he screamed at our team for apparently not gearing correctly to counter the other team, because we were just that bad when it's not like we were losing so severely, because we
It's a charity event, correct?
it was a children's charity event. When he finally did move out, I wish I had saved pictures of the state of his room. He had cleaned nothing, so I had to clean everything by hand. There was like, I don't know what on the walls in his bedroom, and you're just gonna have to like take my word for this. I don't know if it was snot or something else just like wiped here and there on the walls, and more of the like random gray stuff, just spots and things.
Oh, and also recently he had abuse allegations against him too, which I guess is every single YouTuber at this point. Why can't they just be normal? Oh my god. Lastly, just to deal the final blow, his record for having the biggest hype train on Twitch was also deemed fraudulent, as his own mod was exposed for donating a lot to him. Jason reacted the same way as before by saying he didn't do anything wrong and he didn't really ask him to pay him, when there is literal text evidence of him explaining to him how to donate to get the most profit. I think it's obvious to everyone at this point. Jason has gone to the point of no return. He will never be seen as a reliable or decent person on the internet ever again. And it's crazy to think that this all started because he was bad at World of Warcraft. He has already stepped down from Ludwig's company, Offset, and is pretty much hated by all mainstream audience. Pirate Software didn't get cancelled, and I use that word loosely, because of one giant expose like David Dobrik, or because of scamming his audience. Instead, all of his controversies and bad behavior added up. He's one of the only people who got cancelled because they are just an incredibly dislikable person. Now, don't get me wrong, he isn't all bad, and throughout this controversy, he was also right about a lot of things, like he shouldn't be receiving death threats for all this, and that the reaction he's getting is disproportionate to what he has done. But the truth of the world is that most people don't care if you're right when you're annoying and condescending. Pirate Software is either too narcissistic or blind to see that. He blames others and doesn't see that he's the only person responsible for his own downfall. So if you want to be liked by people around you, don't be stubborn, arrogant, condescending, and deceitful. In other words, don't be like Jason Thor Hall.